Well, good afternoon, Holy Trinity. This is Pastor Daniel checking in once again for another video update. Today's video update is going to focus solely on Sunday morning worship. As you can see, I'm standing in the narthex because what I'd like to do is walk you through the process of what church will look like for those who choose to join us on Sunday morning. You should have by now received the email and the letter that is on the webpage where I outlined a lot of the details. I'll go over some more of those details in this video. Definitely please read the letter as it is a more robust explanation of what to expect. And I won't be able to go through all of those details here in the video. But let's start. So for those who choose to show up at worship, we will enter the worship service through the normal way, which are the doors behind me. That's the breezeway and the narthex doors. So you can come to church, park in the parking lot, and enter through the breezeway and the narthex doors. Now, we are requiring everyone to wear masks, so please, if you have them, bring your own masks to worship. They will be required to be worn at all times while indoors. We do have some masks to distribute if you forget, or maybe we have a visitor who's not aware that we require to wear masks. We do have paper disposable masks that we'll be able to distribute. But we are asking everyone to bring their own. That way we can cut down on the use of the disposable masks and also the disposal of them. But here we are. We're in the narthex, so you'll enter through these doors. When you come in, I'll swing around to this side. You'll notice that we'll have a table here. We hope to have an attendant waiting, and that person will be in gloves and a mask also. That person will hand you the bulletin for the service, and for those that don't have a mask, they'll hand out a mask as you enter. On the opposite side of this table, we do have some hand sanitizer available for you, so you can use that if you wish as you enter the sanctuary. We hope to have both doors propped open, the narthex outer door and the narthex door entering the church, so that no one has to touch the doors or door handles or anything like that. You just simply enter the space, grab the bulletin that will be distributed, masks if you need them, hand sanitizer if you wish, and then you can continue on into the sanctuary. Now, as you enter the sanctuary, you're going to notice a couple of changes, and we'll go over several of them. Behind me right here in this back corner, as you can see this sign, it says, live streaming in process. And so right here on this table is where the tripod is going to be set up. It's going to be capturing our live stream of the service. And so that is also a very kind warning, and it's on the sign too, that when the live stream's going, that means everything that is being recorded, video and audio, is going out to Facebook, which is going out to the whole world. So if you're passing by the camera, or you're standing around the camera, or maybe even if you're seated around the camera, be careful what you say. It might get picked up by the microphone and go out for the whole world. So you've been fair warned if you sit next to the live stream camera, and I'll just leave it at that. Also, when you come in, you'll notice there will be a table right as you enter. On that table will be one of our offering plates. We are asking everyone to, very similar to how we were doing it right before the COVID shutdown, was to place your offering in the plate. I know many people got into the habit of mailing in their offering or doing the online giving through our online portable. You are more than welcome to continue to do that. We're going to receive all of those offerings, but for those who would like to place it in the offering plate, it will be available here. So please remember to do that, and there's a sign right here to remind everybody to place the offering in the plate as they enter the church. Put it there, and it will be collected after the service. So then you will enter the sanctuary, and either an usher or myself will probably be available, especially on the first several Sundays, to show you how this is going to work. So as you can see, the pews are marked. You've got some pews like this one, where there is a tape that goes all the way down to the end. That is marking off this pew. It's not available for seating. It is blocked off. You see, every other pew is blocked off for seating. We're not allowing seating if there is a long green stripe on that pew. That has been blocked off for no seating. On the other pews, you'll see the green striped lines that are sectioning off the pew. Each section is approximately 6 feet apart. So the thought is, let's use this section right here as an example, if I can get far away enough. So this section right here would be for a group of people. And as I said in my email, a group is defined by who you arrive with, or who you live with. So if it's just you, then you are a group of one, and that is your section right there. And that is your section, and that is how you can maintain a 6 feet distance from the people away from you. Groups can be 2 people, and groups can be a family. So what you'll be asked to do is to sit in one of the sections that in between the green lines, so that then you would maintain a 6 foot distance from side to side. And what that'll do is you'll have a 6 foot distance front to back and a 6 foot distance side to side away from your neighbor. And that's how the seating will go in church. So once again, let me just kind of pan through and you can see how it looks. Some of our shorter pews, especially in the back and in the sides, are only 2 sections. They weren't long enough to have 3 sections of people seated. So they're in 2 sections, but we're not anticipating a problem with the number of people coming to the service, especially in this time when the COVID numbers are on a rapid incline. So we don't anticipate a problem. We'll be able to easily seat everyone and space everyone out throughout the service. So you will have your seat and take it. The service will begin, and at that point, the service will move forward pretty much as normal. Just like a normal service. I'm walking around and may get some folks a little dizzy, so close your eyes. I'll get up to the front. But a service will move forward like normal. We will process in. We will move forward with the beginning of the service, the collect of the day, the readings. We will have people reading from the lectern. Our readers will be involved in the service like normal. The sermon will be delivered right here. I skipped the part. The gospel, we will do a gospel procession, and the gospel procession will take place in its normal spot right there. That way it can get caught by the live stream camera. And then I'll come over here. We'll do the sermon just like normal. We will move forward with the creed and the prayers of the people, which will be from the lectern, just like normal. The confessional, and then the peace. Now, once we reach the peace is when things will get a little different. We are discouraging any movement in the church during the service. That's why once you have your seat, we're asking that you stay in that section. We will do the usual Episcopal gymnastics of being seated and standing and seated and standing. That will be normal, but we're not going to move about the sanctuary during the peace. You may share the peace with those who are in your group. So if you came with members of your family or you arrived with people in the same vehicle, you may share the peace with them. If you want to hug, shake hands, the assumption is if you're living with them, you would already be in contact with them regardless. But it must stop there. We're not moving about the service. You may wave and say peace and show the peace sign to those that are around you. But we're not going to move about the service. The peace will be much shorter than normal. It'll be a relatively quick peace. We'll move right into the announcements of the service. And then we're going to, from the announcements, go straight into the prayer and the liturgy of the table. Normally, after the announcements is when we have the offering and the offertory, because we don't want to be passing the plate during this time, and because, as you read, we're not going to be doing any congregational music for a little while. There's nothing to really do at the offertory, so we're going to skip over the offertory. We'll go straight from the announcements to the Consecration Prayer. And so at that point, the service will begin to resemble a little bit what you're used to. I'll take my position behind the altar and we'll move forward with the consecration prayer. We're trying to limit contact with items. So the altar is going to be preset. That's one of the changes that you'll see. Normally we set the table, and it involves the server handing me items, and then I put it up on the altar, and we get it ready during the offertory and the ablution hymn. We're not going to do that. The altar will be preset before the service by the altar guild. They'll be handling everything with gloves and things like that. So all I have to do is go up to the altar and begin the Eucharistic prayer. We'll go through the Eucharistic prayer as normal. All those parts will be very similar and will look the same. And then we get to the distribution of the bread. So the only person who will be partaking of the wine right now is myself, and that comes down from the bishop. He has ordered that only the celebrating clergy partake of the wine. Everybody else is bread only. And so what we're going to do, and this is going to be, again, a little different, and this also is a part of us not moving around the sanctuary, is I am going to bring the consecrated bread to you. So instead of moving to the aisle and forming a line and coming forward and having movement in the sanctuary, everyone will stay right where they are. I will have part of the prayer is the bread is going to be sectioned off in little paper cups. And for those of you that show up, you're going to love these little paper cups that we found that actually have crosses on the outside and inside. They actually look really, really nice. The individual wafers are going to be placed inside the cups. It'll all be consecrated at the same time during the consecration prayer. And then I will bring them out on a tray. And then I'll just go down the empty rows when people aren't being seated, and I will distribute the bread directly to people. At that time, I'll be in a mask. I would have sanitized my hands. And then what I'll do is I'll just pick up the edge of the paper cup and hand it into people palms who are having their hands palms up. And that way, nothing will touch the bread except for the person who's actually partaking of the bread. Those paper cups can be wadded up, saved, and we will have a recycle bin at the door as you leave. So that's how communion will be distributed. Once we finish communion, I'll simply come forward. We're not going to put away the vessels and elements at that time. We will reserve that for the end of the service, after the service has concluded, simply because we wanted to limit movement up front with a bunch of different people touching different things. We're really trying to limit that, so we decided we'll bring the remaining elements up forward. We'll go straight into the post-communion prayer and the blessing, and then we will do a procession out, and then I'll give the sending, and at that point, the service is essentially over. But then that brings me to the exit. The exit is going to be a little different. We thought it was a good idea that we have a one-way in and one-way out with the service. So we will enter through the breezeway and the narthex like normal. When we exit, after I've given the sending, I'm going to come forward and I will basically dismiss people row by row, and you will come forward instead of backward, and we will walk over to the side doors, which are over here. These front side doors, they'll be open, and they go directly into the parking lot. That way we can deal with any congregating in the narthex, congregating in the breezeway, which we're trying to discourage at this time. So you may leave the church through the front doors. We will have a recycle bin for both the paper cups and for the bulletins. If you do not wish to keep your bulletin, please collect all items that you have in the pews and don't leave those behind, because we are going to have to clean up after the service. You can exit out the front doors. You can recycle. You can throw away items that need to be thrown away in the trash, like if you borrow a mask and you do not wish to take it with you, you may throw that away. And we will also have a second offering plate at that door, just in case someone might have forgotten or didn't know how the offering was going to work. If you missed the opportunity to give in the offering plate as you entered, we will have a second opportunity at this door as you leave That way we don't have to go backwards against the grain of people coming out and go back up to that plate. It's not necessary. You can put an offering on your way out, and once again, it will all go back and be counted and will go to the church office just like normal. So that's what the service looks like in a nutshell for those who are going to show up. We're excited, nervous, don't know exactly how all this is going to go, but we shall see, and we will make adjustments as needed once we learn from a service or two and decide where we need to make modifications. Now, a quick note on the live stream. For those who are going to stay home and watch the live stream, what I'm asking you to do is wait for an email that's going to go out. We're going to have a link to our Facebook page, and it will explain how to access Facebook. For those who are already on Facebook, you most likely know how this works and how you can get to the Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook or a member of Facebook, you don't have to be. Our page is public, so you can click the link and view the page anyway without being signed in or a member of Facebook. And you'll just scroll down and find the actual live stream. We'll have a link on our website to the Facebook Live, to our Facebook page, and we'll have a link to the bulletin for the day, and we'll have that for every Sunday. And then an email will go out with the same information, and of course it'll be on our own Facebook page. You won't be able to miss it there if you already go to Facebook. And the live stream will go forward at the 10 o'clock service. We're going to live stream the 10 a.m. service. You have options. You can watch it live as it's happening. You can watch it later. You don't have to only watch it live. I want to make that clear. Or if you join late, I believe you can actually join at the beginning, or you can just start watching it live wherever we are. And then once the service is over and the live stream has ended, you can go back and rewatch any component of it as you wish. It stays on our Facebook page after it is completed. So you've got multiple options in how you're going to view it. We did a test earlier today, and in fact, you can go to our Facebook page and see our test that we did. Our new Wi-Fi worked out great. We didn't have any issues with the internet. The video is going to look a little different than we're used to. I think we got a little spoiled with the pre-recorded services where the camera is up close, like it is now to me, where you're getting a really close shot of myself, and you're also getting really good audio because the camera's only so many feet, not even maybe a foot and a half away from my face. It's a good quality video and audio. The live stream, as I said, the camera is going to have to be in the back of the church. It has to be up high so it can get over the heads of people, and also it has to be in the back, so with the camera being up high, if we put it in the middle of the church, people who were sitting behind it, it would be a major block and distraction. So we have to have the camera in the back. We can zoom in a little bit, but the reality is the shot is going to look like you're a little far away from the altar, and that's an unfortunate side effect of what's going on right now and what we have with our limited capabilities with our video and audio system. But the video isn't that bad. I will say the audio is not the best. We have to rely on the camera to pick up the ambient audio sound that's in the space. We can't pipe the audio feed from our sound system directly into the live stream because we simply do not have the technology to do it right now with our audio system. So we're working with what we have. So unfortunately, the audio was not the best. We're trying our best to clean it up and make it a little better. But just understand that we do have our limitations with our audio and video system right now. We were able to get internet so we can live stream, which was step one, but to improve the live stream, we're going to have to make further improvements to our audio system and our video system. And right now, this is, to be honest, the best that we can do with the equipment that we have. So be patient with us. We'll do our best to continue to improve the live stream. But that will be an unfortunate element to it. But you will still be able to see it. You will still be able to watch it whenever we have it, or you can watch it at your leisure anytime after the live stream. And we will have the bulletin available too, which will help to be able to follow along with the readings and the liturgy. If you can't hear exactly, you'll have the bulletin to follow along with. So I know this was a very long video announcement, but we did have a lot to cover in regards to starting worship back up again this coming Sunday. So once again, until we get to see each other face to face, and until that time comes, whether it's this Sunday or whether it's in the distant future, just know that my prayers are with you, and may God's blessings be upon each and every one of us always. Bye-bye now.